What are the best games of 2017 so far? The top 3 best games. We will do our top 3. Hey, Zach.
Hey, this has been a good 2017 so far for gaming.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit already, but man, it's been loaded.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do now is just discuss our 3 favorite games of 2017 so far. Of course, let us know your top 3 games of 2017 so far, and a little bit why you think that that's the case, like why you love those games so much. I think that a lot of people will have the same number 1, but we will talk about that, of course, later. So do you want to start with your 3 and then we could just go like rotate a little bit?
Yeah, so I guess what we'll do here is I'll say my number 3 and my number 2, and then we'll go into our number 1s after we discuss the final 2. So just to leave some people on the edge of their seats.
Oh, totally. But why not like start with your number 3 and then I will do number 3 and then you do number 2 and then I do.
Oh, you wanna make them even more full of suspense? Okay, let's do that then. All right, so number 3, The Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind.
Oh my God!
I said it, an expansion pack. Why is that? Why that game? Well, it's a game that I've actually played a good bit more than what would have probably been my number 3, which is Persona 5. And I would have loved to put Persona 5 in there, but I just feel like I haven't played enough of it yet to really give myself that credibility to put it in that slot, even though I think it's a fantastic game. But with Morrowind, I've already played a good bit of it. I think it's a fantastic expansion to The Elder Scrolls Online. It's a new beginning, if you will. It carries over a lot of that nostalgia. Yeah, new beginning. But it carries over a lot of that nostalgia that you really hoped that you would see brought into this game. You know, the zones are fantastic looking. It's a pretty massive landmass. The battlegrounds are fun and engaging. The story arcs that are within these zones from each city, at least so far that I've seen, are pretty engaging and full of twists and turns that you don't really see coming until they happen, and it's like, whoa, that just happened. And that's what is fantastic about this game, is the story over time has gotten better and better and better within it. You know, we saw Orsinium in the past, and now we see Morrowind now, just sort of emphasizing story and the commitment to having a good narrative within inside this MMO. So I think it's a fantastic expansion. I don't think that for some reasons it's maybe not worth the price tag, because I'm an MMO player. I'm used to paying $40 and getting a bunch of, you know, dungeons and other stuff on top of what this already offers. But I think the quality allows me to put it still in my top 3 just because of how much fun I've had with it thus far.
My number 3 is the one that you wanted to put on number 3. It's Persona 5. So a game that I've been looking forward to a lot, like Catherine, of course the game that they made before Persona 5 is one of my favorite titles from the PlayStation 3 era. So what is awesome about Persona 5 is, of course, that it's a huge game, but that is also like a pretty unique game where they combined like these cool elements with some sort of RPG where you go into dungeons and you kind of figure out mysteries from people. I really like that the interaction between the characters. It's really like a series, like a Netflix show that you play. But you also like kind of experience that has some sort of really a lot of layers in terms of RPG stuff. So really like that. Also did not play as much as I wanted, but that's really a game where maybe in July, when everything like kind of slows down, I'm going back in to finish that or get at least as far. Because what I really liked about this one is that I also played Persona 4 Golden on the PS Vita, where this one is way more mature. The like kind of topics they discuss are super interesting. It's like a Netflix show in terms of what's happening, and there's like a lot of plot twists. There's always like some sort of I wonder what will be next, and there are like some sort of there are like people that have some sort of like idea of what the world is, and you have to kind of stop them. And before you do that, you are like, okay, but who is that person? Who will we take on next? And still, you also have your social life that you can kind of like, what girl will I be dating like the most? What is the best way to approach this battle? There's so much you can think of. It's pretty relaxing as well, but that also makes it like a really time-consuming game where you're not going to play that for an hour a day. You really have to sink in a ton of hours to yeah, have a lot of fun with that title. But right now it's my number 3, but it might go higher once I go back and play more of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, so far from what I've seen, it's a fantastic game, and I actually beg to differ. I think you can play about an hour, 2 hours of it a day and enjoy it, because I mean, each of the days within the game, at least from what I've seen thus far, it's been about like half hour to an hour each time. Maybe it gets a little bit longer as time goes on, but I think the game is structured in a way where maybe you don't want to put it down after an hour, but you certainly can and feel fulfilled. So that's I think where the portable versions of Persona come into play, is that these games were designed for short bursts but long engaging experiences overall.
Yeah, totally. It's just more that you're so invested. It's like a Netflix show where you also don't want to watch like one show and then move on.
Yeah,
with your
you just
day.
want to binge it.
Yeah, of course. So that's kind of it. So what's your number 2?
Yeah, so number 2 is Horizon. Shocker, right? So yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get some heat in the comments, I'm sure, but Horizon for me was a game that did so many things right, but I wanted a little bit more from, and I think that's really because it's a new game. I mean, it's like with The Witcher. Witcher 1, I didn't give 2 shits about that game at all. Witcher 2, I started to see more potential with it. Witcher 3, I think, is the best game I've ever played. So I think that Horizon, for it being a game that is the first incarnation from a studio that's never done a game like this before, for it to be number 2 with as many games that have released that are so high quality in the first half of 2017 is very remarkable. And I think that for reasons that I would have to explain at the end of the year, it would certainly be near the top of the list for a game of the year as well. But I think that what holds it back from being number 1 for me is the fact that I didn't really feel, I guess you say, resolved at the end of the game. Like, I wanted more, but there wasn't more there. And maybe that's because of the fact that I just maybe took a break from it in between, and I didn't really feel like pushing through it all in one go. But I think that with the next Horizon, or with even the standalone, they're gonna really blow everyone away and really make it so you want to come back to the game over and over and over and over
The
again.
standalone is, of course, like the DLC. We don't know if it's standalone yet, but like there's a story expansion coming, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was standalone.
True.
But yeah, nothing is known.
Yeah, thanks for the clarity there. But yeah, so it's not like I hate Horizon or anything like that, and that's why I'm spotting it to number 2. It's just because I just wanted a little bit more from what is already a fantastic game.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, the potential that the game, and yeah, I'm sure we will talk more about Horizon later on in this video.
Yeah.
Yeah, the potential is just enormous. Like, it's totally a lot of fun, and yeah, I think that like maybe in 2019, 2020, when they will release the next game, yeah, I think that they will have nailed so many stuff that I mean, I also have some things, but like it did not impact the overall experience that much. It was just would have been cool if this was added, but
yeah, I still gave it like a 9 point something or other when I reviewed it, or did I give it an 8.9? I think I gave it like an 8.9.
You tweeted it, right?
Yeah, I tweeted it.
Tweet reviews.
Yeah,
okay.
it's somewhere, but yeah, I gave it a really high score from me, and you guys understand, I criticize things like no other, so.
Yeah, totally. No problem. No, interesting. Okay, so I'm curious to hear what your number 1 will be, but first, my number 2. This was kind of a surprise for me, but it might also be because I played like way more games than I normally would, I think, in the early 2017 part. I also have the privilege that I get access to all the games. There was like no game in the early 2017 that I did not get a chance to play, so it was really like where is my preference? And then I went with a free-to-play game that I still play occasionally, and that's Paladins, and I did not think that I would like it so much, but right now that is really my go-to game for just a few rounds. Of course, Paladins is like, you see it right here, it's like that team-based shooter. A lot of people compare it with Overwatch, but yeah, you have the same, like, yeah, you have characters that all have their different abilities. There are some copies from Overwatch, I can't deny that, but what I really like about it is that they did some interesting things that I think like kind of are missing in Overwatch, and that's why I'm not really playing Overwatch, because for me the progression system is super important. I want to know, okay, if I play so many games, I have this, and with this I can buy stuff for my character. So for example, I play a character a lot, and I now know, okay, when I play 3 games more, I can get a new like weapon for that character that really looks different, or I can get some cool new hairstyle. Well, with Overwatch it was purely focused of course on loot boxes, so I was playing for 20 hours, still did not have something for Sayada, that's my favorite character. So I was like, what the heck, like why is this even fun? Because for me, a reward is cool after playing a game. The shooter action is cool. I really think that like with the flank characters, how they kind of like put the roles in that game is really smart, where it really makes sense that that character is a flank character, of course, that gets behind the team, kills the support there. There's a lot of cool stuff. I like that there are mounts. So in Overwatch, for example, you start a game, you die, and then you have to like walk back to the action. Right here, it's like way faster that you get back into the action. And there's also like some sort of customization in the heroes themselves. You have like these cards where you can really like say, okay, I'm like more focused on, for example, I play a tank character that has a lot of stones, like they can put down a stone, and that's really nice for capturing a point. So put down a stone wall, but I got like a card that gives when the stone is like in the capture spot, it will also heal me like for a certain amount. So I chose that, while other players might go for more damage with her like sort of auto attack. So yeah, you can really mix and match that way, and that's what I really like about the game. Yeah. Just like the progression system there, pumping out like content really fast. Some might say, okay, yeah, but all the characters they release are overpowered. But for me, I play this like not on a ranked level, so for me that doesn't really matter. But I just like experiencing new maps, new content, having something to look forward to every time, and I just like the game a lot. So right now, I'm maybe they should add like more awesome characters. Right now, I think the roster is like not that interesting, but they're learning from that as well, and it's still in early phase, although the game has been out for 2 years in beta, that is. But still, the game has a good future ahead of it, and I can see me play like this casually, like some rounds, a few, like every week, like a few games for years. So yeah, that's why I really like it so far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you for putting that number 2. I mean, that's really basically what you said in terms of why you put that over Persona, for instance, is exactly why I put my number 1 over top of Horizon. And so it really comes down to the level of enjoyment that you get over time, a sustained level of enjoyment. And that's what a lot of these online games are really offering, and for sometimes really cheap, like Paladins, its Founders Pack it's $20.
20
right?
bucks, yeah, 20
bucks.
You get
everything. You get all the heroes from now to the end of time, and yeah, it's just a really good value. And so yeah, I definitely understand that. I mean, for me, I couldn't put it in my top 3 even if I wanted to, because I played it on the PC when I was in open beta beforehand. So, so for me, I didn't get the bulk of my gameplay in 2017. It was in 2016. But yeah.
Yeah, so it launched, like this year on PS4 and Xbox One, so that's why I put it here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
What's your number 1?
All right, so my number 1 actually just released. It's called Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. Yes.
What?
Yes. I've been waiting for
I never heard you talk about this game.
I know. I played the open beta about like a week ago, and oh my god, I fell in love. This is the most immersive shooter I have ever played. Hands freaking down.
You're working at the marketing department as well?
Oh, I am, dude. Immersive
experience.
Yeah, immersive. I would say cinematic, but I'm getting well over 24 FPS. So if it was by Ubisoft, probably would be 24 FPS. Let's just be real here. But yeah, I mean, it has everything that a good shooter I think should have. It's realistic for one. It has custom servers at launch. It has a ton of dedicated servers at launch, none of that hosting bull crap. It has a lot of different weapons for you to mix and match and sort of progress towards and, learn how to utilize in proper situation. It has a good bit of modes there. It has skirmish, which is 16 players on one map trying to control different points, and if you control a point, you get more reinforcements. If you control points in Don't really take any other ones. You basically just have to duke it out with the other team until they're out of reinforcements, and it's all within a realistic setting, which really brings forth the mode that I tried out today, Supremacy, on 64 players, massive maps, helicopters flying, you're doing airstrikes, and just mowing people down with machine guns, and you're just trying to capture all the different points on the map and really just control everything. And it's an unreal experience that I can really only describe by saying that this is what Battlefield should have always been. Like, this is just an amazing experience, beautiful graphics. I mean, and that's really where the immersion comes in. I mean, you really feel like you're on that battlefield. It's so gorgeous looking at the battlefield, seeing, you know, all the explosions, the particle effects, and if you look around too long, you're gonna get your head shot off, of course, but it's unreal, and I've been having a blast, and I know that the fact that I spent so much time in it already, this tells me I'm gonna spend so many more hours in it from here until whenever, because it's just an awesome game. I love it so much.
Awesome. So is it coming to consoles as well? Like, is there any news on that, or?
I don't know. I don't think the original one did, and I honestly understand why. Because it's more of a realistic shooter, sort of like Insurgency, if you will.
Oh yeah, that's coming out, of course, next year, right? Like the console version, like the new one.
Yeah, Insurgency,
I think so. Sandstorm, I think it's called.
So they might test the water. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at if there is a console version or not, but they did give away the original Rising Storm and Red Orchestra 2 on Humble Bundle recently. So everyone before the new one came out got to play the OG version of the game and really got to dabble with that, and they also got to dabble with the open beta. So they did a lot of, I guess you could say, marketing beforehand and testing the game out beforehand, and it's been a flawless launch so far. I've not had one single issue yet, so it's been
really
pretty
cool.
impressive. And it's $20. It's $20 freaking dollars. Like what the hell? No DLC, nothing. It's $20. Like, you just buy it for 20 and you're in. You're good to go. So.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I think it will be coming to be a PS4, but or like console in general, but nothing is announced yet. I think I see a statement now, or someone on Steam saying that someone said that worked on the game, if enough people are interested, they will consider it. So yeah, it will in the end probably come.
And that's usually the thing with PC gaming, is people who normally release on PC first. So, like, you know, if people want to see the game, we'll release it. You know, we don't have any contracts with anyone. We're allowed to do that. So
yeah, and it's also like on PC you can like really patch it like way more easily. So then I mean, that's what Paladins did as well. That's why the console version are like really a few patches behind, because on PC they can just, I mean, it's their own launcher, so it's super easy, of course. While on PS4 it has to go through certification, and that's also why you are playing Morrowind already, and on PS4 and Xbox One we're still waiting. Yeah. So my number one, surprise, it was of course Horizon Zero Dawn. That really is my favorite game of the generation right now, because it really combines like the love I have for many games with a unique setting, but I think the best part about it is, and that every time I play this game, and I play it like every day still, I have to record some videos maybe on it and stuff like that. But every time I start it up, I boot it up, the controls just feel so fluid, and I'm surprised like every time. And of course the graphics are amazing as well, but mostly the controls, like how it plays, how fluid it is, that you slide, you roll away, it makes so much sense. And what I really felt what was awesome, I played a lot of Monster Hunter, and yeah, that is also a game where you kind of hunt like huge machines like you do in Horizon, and all the tactics I kind of used in that game. And that game is of course also praised because of the gameplay, because of the combat. Like all the tactics I used like transferred over really well to Horizon Zero Dawn. So that's what I really liked. That also showed to me that yes, they kind of nailed that part. It's just the sense of discovering this new world was just so awesome. I never felt for an open world RPG that like kind of push to know what's behind that mountain, or know what machines I haven't found. Like the first time I fought a Rockbreaker was like one of my favorite experiences from Horizon Zero Dawn, where they communicated like about all the machines. maybe I wished, okay, maybe don't show the behemoth or something like that, but they did. Like they showed everything except for this Rockbreaker, and the first time I saw that was like, oh my god, how like that mystery, and it's like so amazing because it's a new IP. They can do whatever they want. It's not like some sort of strict fantasy. What I don't really like about Elder Scrolls and why Morrowind speaks more to me, because that is more some sort of alien fantasy, while Horizon is just over the top. They can do whatever they want. Then the kind of story surprised me really well, where it was way deeper and way more well thought of than I kind of anticipated. I was like expecting something way less interesting, that they would not maybe like try to explain everything, while they did. So they did a fantastic job. I can't wait to see where this studio or where this game goes next. Guerrilla Games is even like growing bigger. Like normally when you release a game, you kind of let some people go that helped. Right now they're hiring like 19 new people. So
and they're rock stars now too. I mean, they can walk into a crowd and people will just be cheering for them.
Yeah,
so,
totally. So it will be interesting to see. Like maybe by the time you watch this, they already announced new DLC. Then I will have a video up. But yeah, this will go live during E3. I will be there. So yeah. Anyway, I can't wait to see where this goes next. Yeah, I really hope that we will be able to live in this world for a very long time, and we will see way more content. But yeah, I think we will, but right now there's nothing announced yet, but maybe there is.
Yeah, who knows? But I mean, it really comes down to the fact that, and we both agree, Horizon's a super well done game, and I looked it up on Twitter because I just wanted to be sure, and I did give it a 9 out of 10. So I mean, it got up there to the phenomenal ratings that a lot of games don't ever really achieve in my eyes, because they do too many things incorrect. You know, with Horizon, there's some things, like I said before, that I would want to nitpick, like the fact that they put all the audio files like in existence into like a couple of rooms at the end of the game. It's like, why'd you guys stockpile these? You literally just made me sit in a room and listen to these for like 30 minutes plus. So there's a little awkward things here and there, and I won't name some more because there's some spoilers that I can mention that I just didn't really care for, but it really just comes down to the fact that Horizon 2 is going to be so amazing, and just thinking about what they could do with it, what the universe that they set up, and how deep that they did go. Like you mentioned, there's some things that they could have just swept under the rug and not really mentioned, but they wanted to mention it, so that way you sort of know what the world is all about. So in the next game that they can just really flesh that out some more. And Aloy as a character was very likable, and you wanted to learn more about her, and you understood her struggles, and there's some relatable features about her, sort of like maybe not knowing so much about something and just be thrown right into it, and you really just get a lot of put on your shoulders. Like maybe not the intensity of it, but we've all been there where something like that's happened, where we're just not really sure about an environment, we're thrown into it, and we just got to figure it out as we go. And that's really Aloy as a character, and that's really what stuck out for me about her. And so it's going to be an interesting ride for Guerrilla, and I can't wait to be a part of it as a gamer and watch them grow as a company.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, that will be super interesting, like you said, to watch. It just the kind of small things for this game are just amazing, like the attention to detail. They really put a lot of love and effort into it, and now they have like all the things that they were struggling with, like moving from a first-person shooter to an open world RPG. Like now they kind of nailed that. Of course, they still have a lot to learn, but now they have the feedback. Now they already have the like the first time they made a machine, it took them like 1 year, but now they know how to do it. Now they kind of know all the formulas, and they already have the combat down. So they just have to add more. Like that's all what we are looking for. So that will be that will be less of a challenge, but still like something awesome to see. So Zach, I think that 2017, like we already discussed, I mean, we did not even mention like Zelda. That's one of the picks from many gamers. I played it as well, but it did not hook me as much as I wanted, and the Switch is more of my portable system. So
yeah, that's why I just haven't played it, so I have no opinion on it really.
No, but yeah, I can totally see why people love it so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have that game, of course. We have For Honor that I also liked a lot, but I still, maybe at the end of 2017 it will reach my top 5. But right now the servers are still like an issue with that game, and I just can't get over it. So that's why I didn't pick it. Well, I really like the combat and the gameplay in that game. So yeah, other games we might have missed, like I think we kind of nailed a lot. But if we missed some, Nier maybe. I started that, but I haven't really played it because it came out in a crowded time. There are just so many games. Just let us know your top 3 of 2017 so far in the comments down below. Hopefully the E3 is great. I'm curious to hear what everyone is talking about right now, but of course we will know. Thanks a lot, Zach, for discussing this, and we will of course do at the end of this year a overall best games of 2017. And I'm curious to hear if, for example, that Vietnam game is still that you are still playing it as you expect right now. So yeah, that will be interesting.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah,
thanks a lot for watching.
It's gonna be a good rest of this year. I cannot wait.
Totally. So yeah, subscribe for more gaming discussions. Let us know what your top 3 is. Like the video if you did, and we will speak to you next time. Goodbye.